Hi, hello, beautiful souls. It's so gorgeous to be with you all tonight. It's a little bit chilly here in our neck of the woods, chilly for us anyway, in Western Australia. I had a pretty frock on and then just froze. So now I'm snuggled up in my favorite jumper and hot water bottle. I can see a few others from Western Australia smiling and doing the same. All those in the Northern Hemisphere are still enjoying the long summer days. And us in the Southern Hemisphere are rugged up. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Vanessa Jean. I have a very connected history with Mama Gaia and essential oils and connecting with the animals and the plants and crystals in some minor ways. I think when I was younger, crystals were a bigger hit for me, and now I just let them sing to me and bring them into my home and don't get too cerebral about what's for what. I just feel them. My deep passion for aligning with Mama Gaia led me to some pretty huge choices in my life, and essential oils have been with me since pretty prominently since my teens. I went on to study psychology at uni and became a psychologist while doing lots of integrative therapies. And once I finished uni, I opened up private practice, which was huge. It was huge, and I'm glad I did it then and not now, and kind of felt what that was like and felt my yes and felt my no and realized that's not what I wanted to do. I am a clinical aromatherapist, very intuitive aromatherapist. I love working with the spirit of the plants and feeling their essence and just really opening my heart to Mama Gaia being my muse. I was really blessed growing up with a dad who just stayed connected with me and let everything just stay so alive in me. Conversations that I would have with him would be deep and joyous and always so validating. It was really beautiful growing up with him and with my parents and my grandparents, and the way that we were all just cocooned in love. So I got really clear in my life that we're here to love and to be loved. And I got really clear as I got older that not everyone has these experiences. I was so deeply inspired to hold this particular online gathering, Rise in Love. I think just to bring us together in a space of love, like heart to heart, all of us opening into an area that we're passionate about, love. So, how many of you here are super, super confident and joyous in your expression of love? So the first expression of love in giving love. Who's really comfortable with giving love? Showering children, lovers, students, anyone in your sphere, just pouring the love in. Yeah? Who here feels really sublimely comfortable with opening their whole self to receiving love? Can I see a show of hands there? Who just opens and lets the love flow in? So a couple of hands are up, but the majority are down right now. Yeah. So I really wanted to work with this a little, play with this a little, because we have this lifetime for however long it lasts for each of us. We never know, right? But this lifetime is here for us to live. It's for us to open into a deeper presence of love. We chose to incarnate to experience the breadth and depth of love. And boy, oh boy, humans are pretty fantastical with complicating everything and forgetting just the sublime pleasure of love, loving each other, and uncovering, discovering, adventuring in the realms of deepening in love and rising in love. So that's why we're here. We are going to use these beautiful essential oils as our allies to uncovering more of this with us. We will have some yummy, very simple embodiment practices in this. And each of you will sit in the presence of attuning your frequency to love and feeling which essential oils you want to play with to make your own rise in love blend like this. Yeah. I really want to emphasize here that no one knows more about you than you. No one knows you the way you do. No one has all the right answers. I certainly don't. Just because I'm presenting this doesn't mean I'm an expert on any of what I'm about to share with you. I'm just passionate, and I get really excited to share a little more of what I'm journeying and what I'm uncovering. So the rise in love for me is something that permeates every single offering that I put out in the world, every single devotional that I undertake for myself day after day after day. And it's the one thing that I am so clear on in my life. And that is, we're here to love and to be loved. That's our purpose. That's our mission. That is the be all and end all for me. That's what I see, and that's what I feel and experience and believe. And I also believe that the way we do this in the world is unique to each of us. The way that I do it may not be the same way that Leanne does it, and Kylie does it, and Vicky does it, and Deanne does it. But we'll all have the thread of our essence in it. And that's what will zhuzh it up with love. Right? So are you excited to zhuzh your lives with more love? Zhuzh yourselves with more love? Yeah, good. All right, so we're going to have around an hour together. I mean, you know, what is time anyway, but around an hour. And at the end, I'm going to draw some beautiful prizes because I love to give away different things because it's another way I express my love. So for those that hang around, you'll get to dive in there with me. And I'll also share some of the magic that's coming up. So I love to align, should we just call them teachings for want of a better word, with embodiment practices, because that helps me to digest what I'm receiving and to bring them into my body, because this sacred temple is what keeps me going in my everyday 3D life. There's no point me just hanging out up there in the ether and the celestial realms with the angels all singing and not bringing anything down to the earth plane to serve fellow brothers and sisters, right? So I really love embodiment practices, and there are many, many embodiment practices that we can partake in. Walking in nature, grounding with bare feet, walking with bare feet, playing our musical instruments, singing, chanting, dancing, ecstatic dancing, hanging out with our besties, and giggling our heads off, laughing so hard that our tummy feels like it's going to explode, laughing so hard we feel like we've done 700 crunches, sipping on cacao together, sipping on beautiful water, making beautiful teas and elixirs, creating beautiful food, growing our own food. You know, these are sacred embodiment practices and indeed devotionals that express love. Sarah's there spritzing her space. That's a way for her to clear the space so she can come into deeper receivership and embody what's coming through, for instance, right? So embodiment practices explore relationships between our physicality, our sacred temple, this body, and our energy. So we're going to allow ourselves to kind of inhale the yummy transmissions coming in and the revelations and the aha moments and live them and breathe them. Embodiment practices are beautiful ways that you can bring more substance to your day, a deeper devotional. They can be really little and short. They can be longer. They can be a space where you go, I've got a spare hour, whether I'm hanging out in this yummy sphere for 5 minutes or an hour, whoof, I'm just going to let go and be. So they can be as long or as short as you want. They can be as simple or as complicated as you like. I love simplicity, so I will share simple, beautiful journeys with you. Embodiment allows us to fully embrace what it is that we wish to attain, manifest, bring into our lives. So embodiment takes us out of the habit of taking, wishing, hoping for from a disempowered state, and invites us to open our hearts and open our minds to clearly being the full expression of all that we wish to be and all that we wish to have and alter and change in our lives. So I'm going to give you an example. If you want more joy in your life, be the embodiment of joy. What does joy feel like for you? The kind of joy that you want more of in your life, what does that look like, feel like, smell like? Does it smell like wild orange? Does it smell like cinnamon bark? Does it smell like vanilla, green mandarin, frankincense? A mix. What does it sound like? Does it sound like a song from your childhood that brings you so much joy? What does it taste like? Is it a Vegemite sandwich for the Aussies? Is it a crisp apple that you've just plucked off the tree that you have nurtured from when it was a little sapling? Are you getting it? Embodiment is the totality of it all. If you want more joy, be the joy so that you can magnetize more of that to you. You see, when you embody that which you want to attain the most, you take yourself on a journey to opening yourself to being a receptacle of that which you desire most in the world. Embodiment practices use your body as a tool for self-healing, for understanding the self more deeply, for coming into wholeness. The rise in love occurs when we open ourselves to love and to the remembrance that we are pure love. And that can be difficult for us because we can get really cerebral as humans when we think about things like wars and famines and sex trafficking and all of the atrocities that continue to this day in 2022. Sometimes we can lie there stumped that this is still going on. It's so archaic. Why is it happening? Why are they still whaling? Why are they still hunting beautiful animals that are nearly extinct? Why are they chopping down forests that are the lungs of our earth? So we can kind of get trapped in a cycle of focusing on the very thing that drags our energy down, that alters our frequency, so that we're no longer humming and thrumming in the frequency of love, but we become dense and we enter into fear. Has anyone experienced this before? I'm going to put both my hands up. And so we realize then in that moment that the opposite of love is not hate. It never was hate. It's fear. Because fear is the absence of love. And when we dwell in that space, it can be very difficult to shift out of it because we start to do loop-the-loops in our mind, in our emotional sphere, and our moods. We feel like we're on the Big Dipper. Up, down, round, and round. And are we going to come off these tracks? It's so old, it's going to break down. but it's all I've got. So I'm going to hang on for grim death to these thoughts, these emotions, these moods. This state has become my friend, my companion. And that's the state that prevents us from even looking at that door that stands before us with the key sitting in the lock. It's not even locked. It's just there ready for us to just walk through a new way of being. And that new way of being is actually the way of being. It's the old way, it's the new way, it's the only way. It's the way of love. So your embodiment practices, you'll find maybe they'll take you to a place of greater self-acceptance and self-confidence and that connection to your self-worth, because you see, you were born worthy, you were born deserving. You just need to remember it. You just need to claim that space. You're born sovereign. You just need to stand in that space. Don your crown, don your cloak, sit on your throne. I don't care what you do, but claim the space. I suggest you dance in it. It's pretty freaking amazing. I suggest you just sing from the top of your lungs. You alter your frequency with the most beautiful instrument you've ever been given. I suggest you breathe through it so that you can unlock the cages of fear that entrap you and step into the expansiveness of love. There's no point in you going to all of these courses and attending all of these therapy sessions and doing all the things and do if you're not open to embodying. So we embody. Are there any questions so far? Would anyone like to say anything, add anything? Please use the chat, or you can come off mute. I can't see you all on my little screen. How's this feeling? Is it resonating? Yeah, good. So what I'd really love to do with you all is journey through some essential oils to support us. That's beautiful, Deanne. Our voice is the chakra between our heart and our mind. Yeah, our throat chakra, that carries this instrument is that spaciousness, that bridge between the heart and the mind, and it expresses what it is we want to manifest, what we're intending, and whatever lies in the heart, the love that lies in our hearts. Yes, what people feeling peaceful and fabulous. Okay, I've struggled for years to talk to my mum, but the more I've come from love, she's listening. We're getting somewhere finally, and it feels incredible. Oof, that's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's a really special space for us to be in when we can open our whole self to love, to experiencing love. Yeah. Okay. So I've always found that Mama Gaia has everything we need. I really believe that. Nourishing food, beautiful water, and I guess it's for me no different to opening up my box of essential oils and going, oh, hello, Mama. Thank you for these beautiful gifts. And having, I have sitting next to me some beautiful essential oils arrayed in color. The whole alphabetical thing does my head in. There's just too many colors everywhere. I love the color everywhere. Does anyone else do that? Align by color? Some of you will align by names, maybe. And I love to just use my intuition, let my heart lead me. So when you have an intention to open yourself to love, you might not even know what that looks like. Like, what does love look like? I forget. I've been grieving for so long. I've been in heartache for so long. I've had armor around my heart for so long. I don't even know what I really want anymore. So, one thing you can do is quite literally look at your essential oils and kind of see or get a sense for what jumps out at you. And you can kind of go, oof, there's bergamot jumping out, there's clove, and oh, there's cardamom. So, bergamot is like liquid sunshine. So, bergamot is going to help navigate those low mood states, those dark nights of the soul, help work with your solar plexus chakra to feel empowered, to tap back into your sovereignty, to attune your frequency to abundance, abundant love, healthy, loving relationships with yourself and with those in your life, relationships that feed and nourish you. And the clove bud comes in, so where bergamot is a fruit and from the element of fire, we have clove bud, which is actually a flower. It's actually in the flower queendom, but her essential oil comes from the bud. So before she opens, so rose, for instance, the petals are open, there's the morning dew, and she's plucked, and we receive our essential oil in a very short time from when she's harvested. A horse and carriage takes her to the distillery so that, she is so untouched. She's in her purest state. Clove bud is the bud. So when you look at this, let me show you this. I want you to experience this. So this is just from this book, Gifts of the Essential Oils. I'm quite partial to this book. Some of you know why. My beautiful brother, soul brother, Adam Barreley, and I wrote this book together. And when you open yourself to working with the essential oils, you'll feel as though maybe they're speaking into you or singing into you in some way. So we had bergamot and clove bud and cardamom jump out at me then, right? So let's see who this might be for. So clove bud, the three keywords are guarding, potential, and realization. Three separate words. My gift to you is boundaries. The affirmation is I manifest greatness. So let's look at that in love, in the rise of love for self and in relationship with the universe, the cosmos, and with others. So my question is where do I need to define my boundaries in maybe codependent relationships, in unhealthy relationships, in abusive cycles, abusive cycle with myself, with self-talk, abusive cycle with other, which can be physical, mental, emotional. I mean, there's so many ways we can abuse ourselves or can be abused. Where can I look at boundaries that I've held in place for so long that I don't even know why they're there anymore? But these boundaries are like big walls and they got brambles growing all over them, and I don't let anyone in anymore. And they become like armor. So there's a couple of ways to work with that. I'll go into armoring and de-armoring in a moment. But while clove affords us a feeling of protection, clove will offer protection, just like tea tree and the on guard and some of these really powerful oils, eucalyptus. Clove will afford you protection. It's like you go into a space of feeling protected, even as you open that tight bud within you that wants to blossom in love, as you nurture it to open into love. So this represents the part of you that wants to blossom into its full expression. Isn't that beautiful? It's the bud. It's the potentiality. Clove facilitates the release of anything that stops you from reaching your full potentiality, acting as a guardian, helping you to stay aligned and the best version of yourself. Clove works with clearing the heaviness that lurks in the corners of your life. When you need strength, you can turn to clove. And for some people, the rise in love is scary, so they need a little lending hand. They need some strength. Now, that's the clove bud there. For those of you that haven't seen clove bud, that's what it looks like there. Can you see that clearly? That's where we receive the essential oil. So there's this real earthy feel, this earthy connection, this anchoring there. How would you use clove? So this blend here, the clove with the bergamot and cardamom, you could actually use in the diffuser, of course, like a drop of clove, maybe 6 of bergamot because you want the sunshine really activating you, and 2 of cardamom. So 1 of clove, 6 of bergamot, 2 of cardamom, for example, in your diffuser. And you know that with essential oils, you've got top, middle, and base notes. And the top notes, those higher like sopranic songs, the singers of the essential oil kingdom and queendom, they will flash off the fastest. You'll smell them first, and they'll also dissipate the earliest. Right? So you'll be smelling that clove for quite a while. It's very deep, and there's that holding point with clove. It's very strong. So less is more with clove. You can also add them to a touch or a pulse point blend, pure fume creation for yourself. So what I have here is I've got some chamomile dried. I love putting botanicals and crystals in. So I've got dried chamomile. I have rosebud. You can put some rose quartz in there, whatever you like. And then you could just put like a drop of clove in there, a few drops of bergamot, a couple of cardamom, and then that's your pulse point blend, which you can use to anoint yourself on your pulse points over your heart, your lower heart chakra, your higher heart chakra, whatever feels good, right? You can also make a spritzer bottle with those oils, with any of the blends I'm going to share with you today and we'll talk about today. You can make a spritzer bottle with some of them that aren't too hot. If the oils aren't too hot, like I would never bathe in clove, for instance, but you might do a return to love blend with some geranium and lavender and cedarwood, a drop of each. Or you might use the whisper blend for women, you know, this one here, or some lang ylang and lavender, and you might want to add them to some Epsom salts and bathe in them with beautiful rose petals or you know, lavender heads, and you know, just like drift in it. Deanne's diffusing whisper right now. Perfect. It's got so many of the love oils in this. Rose and jasmine and sandalwood and all the yumminess, vanilla, right? So you can work with the essential oils in different ways. And then we have cardamom. So cardamom is amazing for anger, the release, phenomenal respiratory support. So what I find is that when you look at the chemistry, you'll find that the essential oils emotional and spiritual resonance with us often has a place in its chemistry. And cardamom is amazing for digestive support and respiratory support, just to mention 2. When we open our airways, take a deep breath, feel what happens. Like really just feel that heart space open, feel your belly stretch in front of you as you inhale, right? So cardamom has you taking that deeper breath, receiving the life force coursing through you. So when you take a deep breath, it helps you to express and release emotions that are stagnant, that are weighing down on you. It helps you to receive the love that you're longing for, to embody love, to actually be bothered, have the energy to undertake whatever path it is you're choosing, deepening in embodiment practices and devotionals that express the rise in love. You see, so you're opening. Now, the second is the chemistry within cardamom that supports our digestive system. So enabling you to digest life, what's coming at you, stories you've been telling yourself, digesting sometimes the revelations that come to us, those aha moments. Sometimes we need a moment just to stop and take stock, to take them in, digest them. So cardamom supports that. The 3 words associated with cardamom, I want to show you the cardamom pod, what that looks like, in case some of you haven't seen cardamom before. And the 3 key words for cardamom are anger, sexuality, and transmutation. If we have clamped down, put a lid on our sexual energy. It throws everything out of kilter, and it blocks our ability and our capacity to be the full expression of our creativity, to tap into creation energy, to engage in loving and deeper intimate moments with our beloved, with ourselves, and self-pleasuring. It also traps us, kind of like, just trying to find the words for this. It disconnects us from our sensuality and our sensory world. The sensual expression of ourselves that comes from the fire in our belly is often dimmed. It's often put out, or it's just like a tiny ember maybe. So the cardamom helps to stoke that inner fire. It stokes the fire of your digestive juices, as well as the fire of your creative energy, your sensuality, your sexuality. It's a great one to work with entrapped anger. A lot of us have been taught that anger is bad, that good girls don't do anger, good boys don't do anger, don't express anger. Like, there's so many stories around anger that ultimately lead to it being a more negative emotion, when really it's an expression. Emotion is energy in motion. It needs to come up and out. So cardamom helps you to direct your passions in a healthy way. So, isn't it fair enough to be, if you're passionate about whales and you love them, doesn't it make sense that you might become very angry, as well as sad, as well as frustrated, as well as maybe disempowered in how you can help them, but angry that they are continually being slaughtered, harpooned, right? So we have this response, but we're so quick to label it as bad because the overculture has dictated that to us for so long. So cardamom kind of says, hey, loosen up. It's all okay. It's just emotion. It's energy in motion. It needs an outlet. It needs space for you to be able to explore it, to express it, and to release it, right? So let's take a look for a moment at, I want to go through the elements. Would that be okay? Let me just quickly check the chat and see if there's any questions. Yeah, lots of cardamom lovers. Beautiful blends that are being diffused. Yummy. There's a question here. Do I recommend drinking essential oils with water? Do I recommend drinking essential oils with water? What I recommend is that anytime you ingest an essential oil, and the doTERRA essential oils is what I work with. So for those of you that aren't, I can't comment on the other oils, because the only essential oils that I will actually flavor my food or drinks with is doTERRA. But what I recommend is, from the moment you decide to flavor and ingest in some way an essential oil, I recommend you bind it to a fat. That's what I recommend. Because if I just put a drop of essential oil in my water right now, what's going to happen? It's going to float. It's going to be really hard to drink it down. If I just go like that, it's going to hit my lips. If it's a hot oil, it's probably going to burn, sting. It's just going to go down my throat. If you're feeling sensitive or unwell, you could be extra sensitive to it. It can burn, it can hurt you, right? That's just the facts. It just can't. If you're putting like On Guard and Digestin and all of those. So what I recommend is you just warm some water up, make like a tea for yourselves. Put the water in your teacup, let it cool down a little, and then take a teaspoon and put some beautiful virgin coconut oil on it, and or some honey, and then drop your On Guard on that, your peppermint, Zengest, Digestin, or your copaiba, whatever you're doing, and stir that into your warm water and have it that way. That's what I recommend. And same with when you're doing it in food. Bind it with a fat, your olive oil, your butter, your ghee, your coconut oils, whatever fat you're using. So does that help? I hope that helps. All right, so I'm very much trained in the model of ingesting essential oils. I'm not afraid to, but I am aware that each of us is different, and we're more sensitive when we're unwell. So you want to double down on safety with that. Okay, we're going to begin with the earth element. When you think about the earth, what are some of the words that come up for you? How do you feel when you think about the earth element? When you think about Mother Earth, Mama Gaia, Pachamama, whatever you call her, Mother Nature, grounded. What else? What else comes up? Grounded, connected, green. So fresh, solid. Grounded and red dirt. Supported, healing. So can you feel these words? When you really go into the words that arise for you, comforted, I want you to drop into a space with the words that have arisen for you. And I want you to feel into your heart space before I go into this cerebral stuff. I want you to just take a deep breath and bring your awareness down into your heart. So say your heart chakra, the lower heart chakra, so just at your sternum there between the breasts. And you might see it as a soft green color or a soft pink color. And you're just breathing into that space. I want you to just feel what's present for you there. I'm going to say some words, and I want you to notice how you feel as they come up. Trust. Trust in love. Open to love. You are lovable. You are so loved. I love you. Open to love. Be love. So just notice what you feel as you hear some of those words and phrases, and if there's any response, a physiological response, an emotional response, a thought stream, any response. And just exhale. Last exhale, open your eyes. And if you just pop in the chat, what arose for you with some of those statements and words? Were you accepting of them? Did part of you want to negate them? Did you feel like, unconditional love, that's just for fairy tales? Or, yes, I'm really at home in this space. So the earth element has within it the tree oils, the bark oils, the roots, and the rhizomes. So a good cross section of essential oils. Let's start with the barks. The barks are cassia and cinnamon bark. Cassia and cinnamon bark. These two are very potent for de-armoring and for helping you to feel your heart space and to feel the love. So let me show you the difference with them. So the quill that most people think is cinnamon is actually cassia, and the cinnamon is the bark. So the essential oil of cassia comes from the quill, and the cinnamon bark comes from these shards of bark. So this is just our companion cards from Gifts of the Essential Oils. I don't know if you've seen them, they're just quite a new release. We have all the essential oils in them, and they just give you a snapshot. But for the purposes of ease for this, I'm just going to show you this rather than the book. So can you see those pretty clearly? So when you feel like your heart is locked up It's not really willing to let anyone in. The cassia and the cinnamon bark come in to just gently ask you, is this needed anymore? Is this amount of armor, of protection, of holding around your heart space needed anymore? Can you open into safely feeling love flow through you again? For those of you that maybe feel like you're a doormat, everyone gets to stomp around in the heart space, take you for granted, take advantage of you. These essential oils may sing a different song into you and say, would you like us to stand by your side as guardians of your heart, to help you to lean into a sense of selfhood, so that you can feel your yes and feel your no more deeply from the space of your heart, so that you respond from what serves your higher good, not only looking to please and do for others. Yeah? Is that making sense? So some of you are saying, I feel after last night's retreat that I was more open to hearing those statements, that I'm worthy of love and everything. Okay, so the retreat Kathleen's referring to is I have a 6-month container called Voice the Goddess, and we ran a 3-hour retreat together, and it was a deep dive into the chakras. So that's what that is, and that's beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that, Kathleen. Angelica, my heart had a shield come up when you said, I love you. It feels like my heart doesn't really believe or trust it fully. Yes. Great. Thank you for that honesty. It happens to me too, only with people I know though. Yeah, it's like, how could anyone who doesn't know me love me? And if they say it, they mustn't mean it. They must just be saying it. But see, when we live in the presence of love, when we're truly inviting ourselves to rise in love every day, we feel the love because we remember we are one, and we are one in love, literally. And I know that that has become such a thing to say, oneness, we are one, and blah, blah, blah. And people, sorry, I'm just reaching for my blanket, and people often just feel like, how can they possibly love so fast, and kind of almost get angry and judgy over it. The thing is this, when we open in the space of love, like that invitation from the barks, when we just let that armor fall away a little, you don't have to let all of it go down at once. Just even some of it, you start to feel the warmth again. And the bark oils are heating oils, they're warming oils. They'll help to stoke the flame of your heart again, so that when you sit at the altar of your heart and you behold yourself, you realize you are love. And you realize that your heart, when it's given the space to, is the biggest magnet for miracles you will ever call into your life. You have this, as much as you have this as an instrument, your heart is your magnet. It has a distinct magnetic field around it. So if you're overprotective and over armoring, you will never give yourselves a chance to feel the love come in. Now, let's say you want to really bring that in, ground this with all that you've got. Okay, yep, I'm ready. I'm ready to armor in a really safe way. I am ready to allow myself to feel more love to come in. I am no longer willing to be a doormat. I am more willing now to be the embodiment of someone who is both loving and receives love, who isn't just taken for granted. So then we move to the beautiful roots like vetiver and spikenard. They're the two that we have here. So I'm just going to show you spikenard here. My gift to you is seeing your divinity. When you allow yourself to be seen in the truth of who you are allowing the light of your divinity to shine forth. Spikenard brings a deeper earth connection. It takes you deep down to feeling a grounded, strong presence. So you can use spikenard to honor yourself, to expand your heart, the magnetic field of your heart, with gratitude. Combining spikenard and rose, you can just put a little bit of spikenard on your wrist and layer with that gorgeous rose touch, and rub that in and make that your perfume. Anoint over your heart. Try washing your feet in spikenard, or washing someone you love's feet in spikenard, anointing them in spikenard essential oil with some beautiful carrier oil, doing a ritual of love. Devotionals of love are so simple. That is a beautiful embodiment practice. I choose to embody honoring myself more deeply, loving myself more deeply, and being more grateful for myself. So I'm going to take some spikenard and I'm going to put a drop in a foot bath for myself, just in a bowl of water. It doesn't matter if you don't have baths or fancy foot baths, just one of those big stainless steel bowls. Put some warm water in, toss some Epsom salts in if you want, and spikenard, some rose petals scattered on the top, and bathe your own feet, dry your own feet, and have prepared a little bit of oil with, it can be any carrier oil you love, with a little bit of rose, a little bit of spikenard, and massage that into your feet, into your heart, to the back of your heart. Breathe it in, aromatically dress in them. So the roots help you to root down into the arms of the mother to receive love, right? The rose opens the flower, the beautiful blossoming flower within your heart space. The rose reminds you to allow that steady stream of love coming in from Mama Gaia, from the cosmic heart, from plants, from the animals, from your friends, from those around you. The rhizomes. So the rhizomes are like your ginger and your turmeric, and they give you an anchor point. So the analogy I love to use is, imagine a boat and you just anchor in the river. Now, the anchor, as soon as you drop the anchor, it's going to kind of hold you there, but the boat is sitting at the surface. It bobs here and there and up and down, right? With the water, it's still able to kind of go with the flow a bit. It won't move too far. And that's what the rhizomes do. It just gives you a place to come back to, a place to come back to. When you feel like you've lost your way, use the rhizomes to breathe a bright and shining light of creator energy, of love energy. They bring that frequency of the yellow, the golden ray coming in, right? Abundance. When you're really wanting to summon more of this abundant light, bring these in. And a beautiful blend you can do for yourselves is some ginger and turmeric, and then add some green mandarin from the fire element, the beautiful fruits, and some pink pepper, also from the fire element, and from the fruits, from the berries. Okay, so the pink pepper and the green mandarin open you to that unconditional love space, that true love space, deep, knowing, abiding love. There's really, I honestly believe that love just is love. There's no kind of love for this and kind of love for that. We just give it names as humans. Humans love to label things, categorize things, compartmentalize things. Really, love is love. So if you think about this chakra here that you just breathed into, say the lower heart chakra is a green color, and the higher heart, also known as the thymus chakra, it's a turquoise blue or a soft rose pink. Some people see soft rose for both of them, like a beautiful rose, right? These two essential oils, the green mandarin and the pink pepper, have those color vibrations in them. So they're inviting, enhancing to love. The colors have a place with us as human beings. They open us. We see the color. We receive the color as a vibration. The trees are like the connective tissue of love. They remind us of the community we have around us that we can lean into when we feel bereft or in grief or lonely, like an island unto ourselves. The tree isn't trying to be anything else. It just knows how to be itself, to thrive, to prosper, to grow. It takes years for them to grow. They learn patience. They know patience. So many trees have to wait for a break in the canopy from their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents before they can even shoot up. There's no space for them. So they stay smaller than their true potential for so long. So for yourself, where have you kept yourself really small? And are you looking out for the break in your thoughtscape and your emotional scape? Are you looking to break the chain of those same thoughts that are running over and over and over again to create new habits, new ways of thinking? There's a question here saying, what is the difference in the effect between using essential oils and having the substance as a herbal tea? Are you talking about when I was saying put the essential oils in your tea? Just clarify that for me. The essential oils are much, much stronger in the essential oil form than they are 7 to 10 times stronger than they are in their natural state. So when I inhale cardamom, I mean, it smells like cardamom. It's pure cardamom essential oil. There's nothing else in it. It's just, this is really going to enter into my bloodstream. It's going to permeate my cells. You're not really going to take a plant and use it in the same way as this. We can crush it. We can make a poultice from it. It's a very long process, and you might really love that. It won't have the same effects as the essential oils. The essential oil molecules are so tiny, they can pass through the blood-brain barrier, altering whatever it is we're experiencing, working with our immune system to be fortified, working with our mind to become healthier and stronger. Chamomile tea is nowhere near as strong as the chamomile essential oil. There's no way that they can even be compared. The chamomile tea, I love creating herbal elixirs. I create teas for myself all the time, but I don't compare it. It's like comparing apples and oranges in many ways. The essential oils come from the glands of the plants, the protective glands of the plants. And that's what we're using in the essential oil form. The plants themselves in their whole form have their effect in other ways. And that's a whole other masterclass. So I'm going to leave that there because I've still got lots I want to get through. But I hope that helps. I hope that helps you. They are stronger in their essential oil form and therefore work very efficaciously, very quickly with us. So let's move into the water element. So we have within the water element the floral queendom and kingdom. Most of them are queens though, right? Queens and empresses. So we have this beautiful array of florals we can work with, from rose and blue lotus and blue tansy and yarrow to helichrysum and the chamomiles and lang ylang. We've got essential oils that come from flowers that are white, taking us into working with the moon and rising in love and daily devotions with the moon. The yellow ones working with daily devotions and rising in love with the sun. Right? The solar energies, the lunar energies, they all have an impact to opening us to deeper love. Because you see, we receive love from the sun, from the moon, from the trees, from the flowers, from the earth, from the cosmos. Yeah. So as you work with your essential oils, let yourself be led by color as well. I was just touching on color earlier. It's one of the ways we drink in healing. So you can choose, for instance, essential oils like Whisper, Passion, the gorgeous kids blends, like Stronger and Brave. I love diffusing these. I'm loving that we have these out now. Or if you only have the touch oils, anoint yourself with these. To work with like heart meditations and sacred heart meditations. And of course you have rose and geranium and lang ylang and all the beautiful florals. Now, if you are feeling like you have wounded heart energy, does anyone feel that? Like you're carrying wounds from the past in your heart? Does anyone feel that? Yeah. So with working with the wounds, helichrysum is magnificent. Now, helichrysum has a nickname of magic stitches because we know when we cut ourselves and we put the helichrysum on, she'll help to stem the flow of blood and help stitch that skin back together, and knit it back together again so beautifully. Smells incredible. Reminds me of Italy. But this helichrysum can be paired with whatever you feel your wounding is. So if your wounding is in grief through loss of someone you've loved deeply, you can pair helichrysum with geranium and marjoram, for instance. Yeah, so you can take the helichrysum and work with them with the other essential oils to open the heart again to loving. If you feel like there's deep anger and maybe sexual abuse, that doesn't allow you to open to love right now. You're too afraid. There's protection there. Helichrysum with cardamom, and there's a lot of anger there. So helichrysum, cardamom, And geranium would be perfect. Yeah. And then layer with lots and lots and lots and lots of rose. If there's stress around it, lots and lots and lots and lots of neroli or magnolia, right? So let's feel this a little more deeply, shall we? If you can all just close your eyes. And I want you to breathe down into the higher heart chakra, that thymus area. Just take your breath down into this space. You allow yourself to imagine, see, feel, or sense in the way that you do that you're walking downstairs. Whatever the stairs are made of for you, just notice. And you're walking down these stairs, down, 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 breath by sacred breath. And you reach a beautiful cave space. And this is the cave of your heart, your sacred heart space. And there is a beautiful being there waiting at the entrance to greet you. And you are welcomed. And you are lovingly invited to enter this sacred chamber. And you enter and you take a seat on something that feels so beautifully comfortable for you. You just sit in it, you sink in, and you instantly feel at peace. And you notice there's something similar about the being that now sits before you. Your heart is smiling at this being. You feel this familiarity. And you feel yourself quite magnetized to this being. And you realize that that beautiful being before you is you. It's the version of you that is embodied in love. And you breathe more deeply into the space of love. You let the sound take you down deeper into the space of love that is your natural state. And you feel the energy of Rose coming. My gift to you is love, she says. You hear the words course through you. My heart is a magnet for love and miracles. And you feel the sweet caress of grace flooding you. Beautiful pink color flooding your fields. Your heart opening like a rose into the fullness of love. And the pink gently fades. It's still there, but it's just less prominent. And you feel the energy of a white beam of light come in, and with it comes neroli, the scent of neroli, the orange blossom. My gift to you is intimacy, she says. And you hear the words, my divinity draws people closer to me. The rose opens your heart, increases the magnetic field of your heart, and you feel the people that you want to bless your life coming into your life. And you feel how you bless their lives by being love. The sweet, joyous, young energy of Lang Ylang rushes forward, taking your hand, wanting to elevate your frequency in joyous love. My gift to you is awakening the lover within, she says. Affirming deep into your cells, I am a lover free of inhibitions. I am uninhibited in the way I love. I am safe to love. Osmanthus now steps forward. Continuing with the joyous frequency of the Lang Ylang. The Osmanthus comes in. My gift to you is new joys. Unravel the joy of loving and being loved with Osmanthus. Layering Osmanthus over your heart. You just feel, smell the Osmanthus all over you now. And you feel yourself. You feel your heart opening more deeply. Opening like a rose. You sit at the altar of your heart. And you feel the magnetic frequency of your heart expanding, opening. Take a deep breath and let your heart open in the breath, in your body. And you feel the love wrapping its wings around you. Pay attention to the heart chakra at your sternum between your breasts and the higher heart now. Feel those beautiful orbs of light. Just experience them, see them in the way that you do. And I want you to imagine a beautiful bridge of golden light between them. And this light creates a loop. This bridge becomes like a never-ending bridge. It's a loop between them. And as you breathe, the love is passing from one to the next to the next. You feel them unifying. This state of pure love radiates out into all parts of your body, blessing your cells, your organs. It goes up, it goes down, it goes out, it goes round. And you remember in this space that there is only love. There is no judgment, harsh words, and self-reclamation. There is only love, compassion, tenderness. And once more you behold the being in front of you and you smile. because you have remembered. You recognize this being as you and you as this being. I am you and you are me and we are love. And so you take a deep breath and you feel the two of you merging as one. You are ready to rise in love once more with all parts of you. And you want to anchor this love, this beautiful space, and I want you to just feel which essential oils walk towards you. It might be a blend that's already made that you know and love, or it might be single note essential oils that come together that want to be bundled together and placed in a diffuser or a roller bottle or an aromatic dressing. What are those oils? Let them come towards you and let this be an aromatic anchor for this moment. This moment that you chose to return to love and rise in love with all parts of you again. Take a deep breath in, feel your belly rise and your ribcage open and expand with the love. Pause for a moment, give thanks in the way that you do, release the breath. Very gently and very slowly, we're going to give thanks to this remembrance, this moment of time devoted to loving you more deeply. The rise in love is a journey. It's a daily practice, a daily devotional to yourself. And you feel yourself just gently leaving the cave, knowing you can return to this for deeper meditations, deeper interactions, when you have more space and time for it. And you climb those stairs again. And with a breath and a thought, you are back in your body, in the here and now. And you gently begin wiggling your fingers and toes. And take your hands in front of you and rub them together just to warm them. And place them over your eyes, your face, and gently massage your face and around your eyes, just to gently open your eyes to the right screen in front of you, so it's not too much of a shock. If you want to, you might want to write down the blend. You can pop it in the chat, pop it in your journal, share it with each other. And you can use that blend as a beautiful anchor. And when we jump off, you might want to make it up for yourselves. Grab a roller bottle and add some drops in the roller bottle and top it up with your carrier oil, or pop it in a bowl with your carrier oil and put your oils in and aromatically dress, put it all over you. Rose and cedar work beautiful. Rose, lavender, and vanilla. Gorgeous. So let me go to rose and cardamom. That's beautiful in cacao, by the way. Oh my gosh, raw chocolate with rose and cardamom is sublime. So as you keep writing these beautiful blends, gorgeous and loving seeing them, I want to move to the air element, which are the leaves. Well, before I do, I'll just show you these two beautiful oils that got a pretty big mention. That's the rose that you all know, and the affirmation, my heart is a magnet for love and miracles. And this is the beautiful osmanthus, the gorgeous moon oil. You can work with osmanthus at the new moon if you want to. And there are her 3 words and an affirmation. So that's what they look like. Okay, so the air element is attributed to our mind, the mental realm. So to allow ourselves to say yes to an invitation like this, to rise in love, we need to often release emotions that have been pent up, rewire the brain to love, to believing in it again, to knowing it, to recognizing it, to just feeling it in our emotional body, reconfiguring our response to love. So something that might be really beautiful for you to work with in alignment with a lot of the essential oils we've spoken about is tea tree. This beautiful, potent essential oil. My gift to you is a true heart. Such a gorgeous essential oil to help you to work with any wounding around mothering or being mothered. You become the caretaker of yourself in a more empowered way with tea tree. Tea tree creates a beautiful sphere of protection around you, very cleansing to help pave the way. You know, I was talking about rewiring the mind, rewiring the heart, emotional scape, the DNA that's wired in a way that I guess has been dictated to us from past memories, past experiences, what the overculture says, what family says, what dogma says, what teachers have said. And the teacher just comes in and says, in divine timing, which is right now, you can choose to rise in love. I will stand by you for the full healing. I'll hold your hand as you navigate the wounding, the deep open sores within you. We'll go there together. I deserve to be nurtured, cherished, and loved is a beautiful affirmation you can work with tea tree. That's it there. The key words in the affirmation. So allow yourselves to cleanse your mind of all of that dense, negative, hardcore chatter that holds you back. And the next element I want to work with is the fire element, and these are the fruits. So citruses and berries, and I mentioned green mandarin and pink pepper earlier, do you remember? So we have green mandarin coming in. My gift to you is a playful heart. I listen to the whisperings of my heart. Mandarin has this joyous uplifting, works gorgeous with that, you know, that heart chakra there, and you can work on the pink pepper for the higher chakra if you want the higher heart chakra. My gift to you is true love, says the pink pepper. And pink pepper is amazing for working with discernment as well. So when you want to become more discerning in love, you're not blocking it, but more discerning so you're not such a doormat, you can bring some pink pepper into the sphere with you. When you want clarity on the path of love, when you want to be led by your heart again, you can work with pink pepper to open yourself to receiving the messages from your heart. So you might want to create some blends for yourself with this, like pink pepper, green mandarin, rose, and lang ylang. This blend is a beautiful blend to form a bridge between that higher and lower heart chakra. And to attuning your frequency to love again, because we need to kind of break out of the habit of just being stuck in the denser energies and judgments around love, and that we're not lovable, or we don't want to open ourselves too much, we don't want to get hurt again, whatever it might be. And there's a beautiful blend called Heartgasm that we have in our book, which is wild orange, cinnamon bark, and lang ylang. I've spoken a bit about these, but wild orange is for that pure joy of love and loving and living, thriving in joy. Joy is actually your natural state. It's an innate state for you. So wild orange helps you to return to it. And finally, the final element before we close out is akasha. So you can attune your frequency to love with these akasha essential oils, which are the resins and the seeds. Right? Akasha is spirit or ether. And here is where we often have the revelation that all is love, all is one. We'll often have them in our meditations or just quiet contemplative moments. Then we go back to life and forget about it. Well, these essential oils say, how about we embrace that more deeply? And one I want to bring your awareness to is cacao. And the Cacao Absolute is found in the Whisper blend and the Amavi blend. So use any of those blends. You can make yourself ceremonial cacao or just a beautiful cacao elixir. We've got some beautiful recipes in my book. On our website, foodalchemy.com.au, there's heaps and heaps of cacao yumminess. And I've got a little ebook. You'll see the link in bio on my Instagram that has all beautiful, ceremonial cacao, chocolates and bliss balls and so much deliciousness there. So cacao, my gift to you is sumptuousness. The three words are sensuality, love, and wealth. Absorb love, drink of love, feast on love, be love. Let yourself enter into the wealth of gifts that come with love. Lead a sumptuous, exultant life in love. So rather than falling in love, my invitation to you is to rise in love. Rose and cacao together is so beautiful. Gorgeous combination. You can pop some rose in your ceremonial cacao or your elixir. The resin I'll bring your awareness to is copaiba. Know thyself. That's the gift, knowing thyself. These resin oils, copaiba, frankincense, myrrh, they come from the core of the tree, the essence of the tree, right at the core. They know pain, they know wounding, they'll guide you through it, they'll help you navigate it without being so judgy of yourself, so harsh on yourself, without being so attached to it, addicted to it, staying addicted to the pain. I know it sounds crazy, but so many people do, and they bypass it. They think they're being spiritual maybe, or strong maybe, or whatever it is, and I'll just stuff it down. And Copaiba says, you have this beautiful mission, a soul mission. And at the core of that is being the love you're born to be. In order for you to bring that mission to the world, you need to know yourself. As you rise in love with yourself, you come to know yourself wholly and completely. Self-awareness, contemplation. Metamorphosis is another gift of Copaiba. Who you are now is different to who you were when you first jumped on this Zoom, because you've chosen to rise in love. For those of you that have accepted that invitation, it takes a moment. It's just a choice. You don't have to sit in therapy for 20 years and do 100 million courses and read a million books. And you can keep doing that if you get a yes from them, like really get a yes, and you want to participate in life in all of the ways. Go to a beautiful rock concert or a folk concert, or, that's just like, that's a space of love for you. You just choose. It's a matter of choosing what it is that aligns with you now that you've chosen this path to rise in love, right? And of course, the cardamom I spoke of earlier, that also comes from this Akasha element. It's that tender self-exploration again, the infinite possibilities that arise in this moment always. There's always something that arises. There's always an invitation there waiting for you to unpack. So the seeds are about pure potentiality. So embodying love as a frequency. Let her song course through you. That's the frequency, the alteration. A blend, you might want to embrace cardamom, Roman chamomile, one I haven't spoken of yet, but that tender, sweet caress, that assurity, Hawaiian sandalwood, green mandarin, and layer with rose on a rollie or both. Be liberal with your essential oils. Be liberal with your love of self. Be liberal with your devotion to self. Be liberal with taking deep, full breaths that remind you that you are both a receptacle of love and a vehicle of love. A vehicle that outputs and gives love. And a receptacle, a sacred chalice, open to receiving the love and giving the love simultaneously. You are all of it and none of it. You are love. You are love. So just taking a deep breath into your heart space and moving your body how it wants to move in the space of love. Circular motion, spiraling. Feel your feet planted flat on the ground. Spiraling, spiraling, ever deepening in love. Feeling the song of love emanating from your heart up into the heart of the universe and down into the heart of the earth. Opening, opening, receiving, accepting. When you move your body and allow it to move, you alter your frequency. That's why dancing is so powerful. Moving to beautiful music, to sound. Another way is through toning. So I want you to just take a deep breath and just let out a sigh. Ah. You're on mute, so no one's hearing you. Just do it. Deep breath in. Ah. Now extend the sound. I want you to just listen. If your heart had a sound right now, or a few sounds tied in together, or a song, what would it be? Some of you have done more of this than others, so just let what wants to come out, and just let that music come out of you. So take a deep breath in and tone out, sound it out, bring it out from your hearts. Feel the sounds moving you. Imagine yourself bare feet on the ground, feeling that steady tattoo of Mama Gaia. Take your hands and just shake them in front of you. Shake, shake, shake. Lower your arms and let your arms and your hands shake, shake, shake. Let your body kind of shake, shake, shake now. Like you're on one of those bouncy balls, those fit balls. A boing, 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 boing. Loosen your feet and your legs. Lift your legs up a little and let them shake. Loosen your lips and just go. Let your head shake a little, your shoulders, your whole body shaking. Yeah. Now spiral, big spirals, your hips spiraling. You can do this standing if you want to. Some of you have been with me in lots of containers. When we're finished, I encourage you to put on a song. Normally I'd do that, kind of out of time now, but just let yourselves play and have a dance to a song. Deep breath in. Exhale, close your eyes. Close your eyes and let the sound that wants to come out of you now to come out as you move your body. So you move your body and you make a sound together. Let that vibration go right through you. Allow yourself to feel the frequency altering. And smile. You are receiving love. Even as you are giving love, it is eternal. It is flowing down through you from the cosmic heart above you and up through you from the heart of the earth, meeting at your heart center and pouring out into the world, touching, blessing the multitudes. flower of your heart fully blossomed and open, receiving love, giving love, front and back, the wings of your heart unfurled, extended outwards, wingtip to wingtip, each of you touching each other in love. Feeling the love flow through you and all around you. The love emanating from your heart. Love flowing into you and out of you. Hmm. And just allow yourself to feel which essential oils are walking towards you, which oils want to play with you, be held by you, be smelt by you, be anointed by you and dressed and bathed in, inhaled. And trust in yourself to know exactly what you need. You know better than anyone what you need. This is your return to love. And as you breathe deeply, you feel yourself rising in love. A little more and a little more and a whole lot more. You are loved. You are love. You are eternal. Mm. When you're ready, open your eyes. And just notice how you're feeling. Take a deep breath and feel yourself grounded and present and in your body. Devote yourself to loving yourself more and more every day. Let that be a daily devotional. Let the rising love begin with you. Mm. So, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that that was yummy. I'm going to do some giveaways now. That feels okay for you. So, I have coming up a beautiful, beautiful offering called Devotion. And I really want to give someone here a place there. And if you win it and you already have a place, then we can give it to someone else. We can change it up and you can have a place in my frequency portal, but let's see what happens. So um, Devotion is a 3-week journey in the month of September, and it is taking you into a space of being more devotional with yourself. So that's the first gift I want to give yourself. And we use essential oils and beautiful embodiment practices and deliciousness. And yeah, devotional is a really, it's a sacred space for me to enter into. It's part of my everyday life. So I want to share that with more of you. So my question is, I want you to tell me in the chat, and we're going to let you know the winner tomorrow in the email when we draw the prize. So you can tell me in the chat, and then you can email a longer response if you want. Tell me why you would love to deepen in daily devotionals for yourself, to open your heart to loving yourself more deeply. Tell me why devoting yourself to loving yourself is so important to you, something that you would love more of. So, yeah, pop your answers in there. and I'm going to take a look at them all, and I will pick someone at random um, tomorrow based on your responses. I will just choose intuitively. And for those of you that would like to email the response, you just email if you want to be a little private with it. Connect at paulandvanessajean.com. Some beautiful responses here. Thank you so much. Gorgeous. There's an email there for those that would like to email those responses as well. Okay, so you can keep going with those. I want to tell you about the next giveaway. The next giveaway is 3 months in my frequency portal. So this is a yummy space. Who loves the moon here? Does anyone love the moon? Yeah, so I love working with all aspects of her, and new moon time I'll often have in-person gatherings here. So I thought, well, for full moon I'll do a monthly gathering each time she's full, around the time of the full moon. So we come together in this portal dedicated for this. It's called Frequency, and it's a space where we alter our frequency month in, month out, right? Because let's face it, we're humans, and we can we can make a choice 1 minute and then kind of go back into our habits the next and find ourselves going into a spiral, or find ourselves actually committed to that particular devotion of altering our frequency and maybe feeling like, oh, there's no one around me. I don't have the same friends as I used to have. I don't jam with it. And so life changes. Or just being so joyous and you want to share it with friends. We meditate in this space. We have fun in this space. We do yummy rituals in this space. It's called Frequency. So I would love to know, is there a particular devotional you're excited to bring into your daily life? Just pop it in the chat. And again, I will pick at random. If you just write now for me, frequency, and then the devotional, because now I'll know these responses are for frequency, and the other ones that don't have a word in front of it, that's for to win a space at devotion, right? So what are some of the devotionals you'd love to bring into your life to help you to embody this rise in love, to help you embody being the love? You know, you remember in the beginning we were talking about, you know, walking barefoot on the earth, dancing, ecstatic dancing, chanting, toning, singing your heart song into the world. Yep, cacao, that's one, absolutely. Which essential, are you going to be anointing certain essential oils? Are you going to do gratitude practices for yourself? Like, what is it? Yep, that's perfect. Everyone write frequency in front of it, and I'll announce the winners in the email. So keep those answers coming. And something that's really yummy is, it's a fun kind of space to be in. I really love creating blends. Remember to put the word frequency in front of your response. I think I saw one without it. I won't know what you're going for if you don't put that. Okay, so something that's super fun is I love creating blends and working with blends. And I often have people message me, it's a daily occurrence, what blend do you suggest for this, this, and this? So I would like to offer someone 3 channeled blends. Now, anyone can bring through blends, but if you just want to play in this sphere with me and want me to tune in and feel you, to bring some blends through for you, all I need for you to write in the chat is blends dash, and then put the 3 things that you would love a channeled blend for. And channeling just means I open my heart to connect with you and feel the essential oils, the spirit that's speaking into me, and I just share them with you, and they'll resonate or they won't, and I'm not attached either way. You can tweak them, you can chuck them out, whatever you like, but I love doing this. So if you'd love to win some channeled blends, it's just me telling you the essential oils, just write blends and tell me the 3 things you would love to receive blends for and to deepen with and connect with. gosh, I love what's coming up in the chat. These are beautiful. In a moment, we'll take off the recording and I will have space with you without the recording. So if you feel shy to comment while the recording's on, we can have that beautiful private space together. I do that for every single offering, whether it's a free or paid one. So I just find that space really beautiful. So just keep going with those for a moment. And just feeling like what it is you would love to bring into your life more of. So I want you to just listen to something. I'm just going to read this to you. What if the question is not why I am so infrequently the person I really want to be, but why do I so infrequently want to be the person I really am? Did you get that? What if we're all just living our lives not really wanting to be who I truly am, who we truly are, because we're afraid of what others may think? So devotion was born because I just really felt this desire in me to connect people with a devotion to self and greater love, because that's the biggest thing I'm working with right now for myself in this lifetime. And I asked myself, what if I could wholeheartedly guide magnificent and mighty women to remembering to devote themselves to themselves? So in the devotion, week 1, we go into your holy mind, a gift. Week 2, your sacred heart, a journey. And week 3, your wise womb, a ceremony. And as we journey into those spaces, we work with essential oils, beautiful embodiment practices, much more than I could do right now, and work with completely altering the frequency. So it's not really a course so much as it is an invitation to alter your frequency in the space of devotion. So I'm going to pop the link in the chat and we'll send it also in the email. But basically her sacred investment is $111 for the 3 weeks. And that price will go up to a full price of $333. And I had released some private places with me, just one-on-one spaces in Voxer, and I only have 3 of those left. So you can do an upgrade and do that as well, or you can simply just do the devotion with me for $111, 3 beautiful weeks together, 90-minute sessions. Then we turn off the recording and go into a deepening. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If she sings into your heart, I would love to welcome you. We have around 40 women that have said yes to devotion so far, and I would love to welcome more in that space with me. We begin, I think it's the 10th of September. You can have a look on that landing page there. And it's going to be a beautiful space, really yummy space to be together, to hang out. So let's close the circle. Closing your eyes and taking a deep breath into your heart space. With deep love from the heart of our hearts, from the heart of my heart, I give thanks to the magnificent beings of love who surrounded us, who cocooned us, who guided us in this moment together. To the wise words of Mama Gaia, to the spirit of the plants that wove their way into us and through us on their own and in blends, guiding us to live more enriched lives, empowered lives, blessed lives, to open us more deeply in gratitude and joy and wonder for life, and of course, inviting us to rise in love. Thank you so much for being here with me. Take a deep breath, and when you're ready, open your eyes. And we give thanks to the beautiful beings, each of you, and the beings unseen but felt, who have poured love into this space. I hope you've enjoyed this tiny little moment together, exploring the rise in love and dancing with the essential oils. I love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for blessing me with your presence. Mwah. I'm just going to turn off the recording and then we'll have some space together if you like.